Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to dive into a truly groundbreaking idea. What if the sound in your room could do more than you ever imagined? I'm talking about not only improving your sleep, but actually physically cleaning the air you breathe. It sounds like science fiction, but stick with me. So let's just start right there with that big question. What if the sounds around you, the ones you barely notice, could literally cause dust and allergens to just fall out of the air before they ever even get to you? It's a wild thought, but the science here is surprisingly real. It turns out new research is pointing to the idea that sound isn't just for our ears. It's actually a physical force that affects us in two totally separate and pretty powerful ways. And today we're going to break down exactly what those are and how they work. Okay, so to really get this, we have to start thinking about sound in a completely new way. It's not just noise, right? It's a physical wave of energy moving through space, and it interacts with, well, everything, including us. And this is a great way to look at it. On one hand, you've got our everyday view. Sound is for hearing things, music, talking, whatever. But then there's the scientific view this new research is all about. Sound is a physical force. It can literally sync up our body's internal rhythms. That's a process called entrainment. And it can physically push around tiny particles in the air. So let's talk about that first one, which the researchers are calling the host pathway. This is all about how specific frequencies of sound can almost tune our biology, like tuning a guitar. I just love this analogy. It makes it so clear. Imagine an invisible metronome in your room, just setting a steady, calm beat. The idea is that our bodies can subconsciously pick up on that rhythm and start to sync up with it. And that leads to some pretty amazing effects. Okay, so here's how that chain reaction is supposed to work. It all starts with a very slow, rhythmic sound, specifically in the 2 to 8 hertz range. This helps our nervous system sync up, which in turn leads to better sleep and makes us more resilient to stress. Then, that sense of calm travels down the vagal nerve, which is like a superhighway between your brain and your gut, and tells your digestive system to chill out. And the result of that? A calmer gut, which is the perfect environment for a healthier microbiome. It's just this incredible domino effect, all kicked off by sound. Now, a key way scientists actually measure this stuff is with something called HRV, or heart rate variability. And you can just think of HRV as a number that shows how good your body is at handling stress. The higher your HRV, the more adaptable and resilient you are. It's a huge marker for your overall health. And get this, here's the goal. The research predicts that this kind of sound system could boost your nightly HRV by 10% or even more. That is a huge improvement in your body's ability to recover and de-stress, just from the sound playing in your room while you sleep. All right, so sound can tune our bodies. That's pathway 1. Now for pathway 2, what they call the exposure pathway. This is all about how sound can physically scrub the air around us, and this one is based on some really cool physics. It all comes down to a process called acoustic agglomeration. It sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. Certain sound frequencies, in this case between 1 and 3 kilohertz, make tiny airborne things like dust, pollen, and allergens vibrate. They basically act like tiny shepherds, herding all these little particles together until they collide and form bigger clumps. And once those clumps get big enough, they're too heavy to float anymore, so they just fall right out of the air. And here's what that looks like in practice. On the left, you've got a typical quiet room with all those tiny, nasty particles called PM 2.5. Think dust and allergens just floating around for you to breathe in. But on the right, with the sound active, those same particles have been clumped together and have dropped out of your breathing zone. The result is just cleaner air. Simple as that. And the predicted impact here is pretty stunning. The research suggests this could reduce those harmful PM 2.5 particles by 20% or more. I mean, that's not a small change. That is a major improvement in your indoor air quality, powered entirely by sound. So let's put it together. We have these two incredible pathways, right? One that tunes your body for better sleep and less stress, and another that literally cleans the air you're in. Well, the research paper proposes a system to do both at the same time. They call it the Echo Film System. This table sums it all up perfectly. You have the host pathway, using body entrainment for better sleep and gut health, and you have the exposure pathway, using particle agglomeration for cleaner air. The Echo Film System is designed to create a layered soundscape that does both, combining those low-frequency rhythms for your body with the higher frequencies needed to clean the air. It's a complete system for your personal and environmental wellness. So, what's the big picture here? The whole idea is to bring the benefits of a natural soundscape back into our closed off, indoor lives. The system would even have selectable sounds like forest or shore that aren't just pleasant to listen to, but are actually engineered with these specific frequencies to make you healthier.
So what does this all mean? Where do we go from here? This research really suggests we might be on the edge of thinking about our homes, our offices, our indoor spaces in a totally different way.
So, to wrap it all up, the potential benefits here are just huge. We're talking about better sleep, better resilience to stress, and literally cleaner air with fewer allergens and dust. And get this, the research even suggests it could help with language development in kids, since the brain's ability to process rhythm is so tied to picking up language. It's a truly holistic way of thinking about our health. And that really leaves us with one final big thought. This research shows that sound, something that's all around us all the time, has these secret powers to affect our health and our environment. And it just makes you wonder, if we're only just now figuring this out about sound, what other invisible forces are out there just waiting for us to discover them? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.